and billions 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 and billions.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur.
And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Yes, it.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a
Right at McDonald's. Children should be seen and not hurt.
Thank you, Tucker. Isn't it amazing how everything seems to get reduced to race and justice these days?
Well, yeah, but it's especially amazing when topics that have no conceivable connection to race and gender get pulled in. How did that happen? How did that happen?
Well, I mean, the whole point of the article was fairly simple. Most issues go through these long wave cycles. There's lots of early interest. The press gets onto it. Flurry of political activity. Some policies are made. Then we start having consideration of trade-offs. And that's been going on with global warming for several years now. It's really expensive to do what a lot of the climatistas, as I call them, want us to do.
We control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus.
We have neighborhoods that were affected by overflowing reservoirs. We had neighborhoods that were affected by overflowing bayous. And then we also had neighborhoods that were affected when the city decided to open dams and release water from these bayous. And that water filled up neighborhoods also.
It was almost like a water wheel. Part of that storm was in the Gulf and the other part was on land. And as it turned, it was just kicking water off the Gulf right onto the land. Finally, it came to Port Arthur, Texas. It rained like I had never seen before. The raindrops were so tight, it almost looked like it was foggy outside.
Amounts of rain from Hurricane Harvey continue to flood Houston and other parts of Texas and Louisiana.
The campaign seems to have gone bust. It started as an effort to protect the environment. It is not that anymore.
UC Berkeley visiting scholar Stephen Hayward just wrote a piece in the Wall Street Journal detailing how the movement has been hijacked by obsessions with race and gender. Worries about carbon and rising sea levels have turned into speeches about fighting misogyny and so-called climate justice, whatever that is. Stephen Hayward joins us tonight to explain. Professor, thanks for coming on.
Billions and 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 billions.
I feel like what always has to be the main priority is climate change. It's not something that's coming. It's not something that's around the corner. It's something that's already here.
Coal is a finite resource. It's gone. Coal is gone. Man, this is the 21st century.
You mind if I ask you a personal question?
No, not at all.
Climate change has been revealed as a class war that is being waged by the rich against the poor. Something insane is going on inside the Bella Center. where somehow solving the problems of climate change means rewarding with special new business ventures the very companies that are responsible for the climate crisis, giving them new carbon markets, allowing them to enclose the final uncolonized spaces.
Then the price of carbon will rise and they'll be able to make a profit. The other aspect of carbon trading is the so-called carbon offset. If a factory, say in Great Britain, is required to make a reduction in its emissions, the other thing it could do is say, well, we could buy some offsets. We could find some project, and these projects have to be in developing countries, so in Eastern Europe, and they're saying, we would have built a coal-fired power station, but we haven't. We've built a nuclear power station, therefore we're due some offsets. Those offsets can be purchased by a coal-fired power station in Western Europe, or in some tropical region. We would have cut down this rainforest, but we haven't, and therefore that counts as a reduction.
Since the Kyoto Protocol came into force, emissions have been rising and the rate of increase has been rising. The COP really creates a shield around the global capitalist system, the economic and the political system, because it essentially legitimizes what goes on by pretending that the problems are being solved. But since we know the problems are being solved, the COP legitimizes our fucked up business as usual.